I like big games. Playoffs is fun time. Everybody plays at 100%. It's just fun to be out there. I think we have a great team. We have guys that are willing to go to war. Everybody's staying together. The chemistry is high, so I think we for sure have a chance.
Joined now by Brian Windhorst. The NBA playoffs get going in earnest this weekend. And you know, Windy, in the NCAA tournament, like a first weekend where you end up, happened this year, UConn, Florida, right? Like it was a first weekend game, but it felt like it could have been a Final Four game. It feels like we got some series right out of the gate with some real, sex appeal and intrigue. Let's start with Luka and the Lakers and Ant and the Timberwolves. In terms of assessing what direction that series goes, what tilts the balance, in your opinion?
So, yeah, I'm going to just say, you're going to see the schedules and you're going to see the team name and you see a little number next to the team, which is their seed. I'm going to advise you to toss that number. The seeds, especially between 2 and 7, they don't matter. Luka last year terrorized the Wolves, terrorized them. He took Rudy Gobert, who was polishing his 4th consecutive Defensive Player of the Year trophy, and he just undercut him totally. And that scar tissue is still there for the Wolves, even though he's playing on a completely different team. So I think he's going to come into this series looking to hunt. But the Lakers are a roster that is incomplete. There are advantages for the Wolves in this series, particularly the fact that Ant Edwards can just score like crazy. So this series, you want to say it's 6 versus 3, I wish you luck, because this series is really tight in my view.
I agree, and you know me well. I'm not Mr. Hot Take, but I think that there's a much more than zero chance that Anthony Edwards could prove to be the biggest star in this series. And there is a gigantic solar system of stars. Do you think that there's a possibility that not just for a night, but potentially for the balance of a series, you could, at the end of it, go, you know who the best player in the series was? Edwards.
If he is, and he can do it 4 times, he might be able to pull it off. What I think the Lakers are going to do is they're going to throw double teams at him, because this is what the book on Ant Edwards has been throughout the year, especially. So I think J.J. Redick is going to say, Ant, God bless you. Somebody else is going to beat us. We are going to take the ball out of your hands. And whether Ant can be mature about that, because he's complained about it before, he has to use his teammates. But that chess game is going to be a big part of this series, and watching how Luka and LeBron play with each other.
I think we could have a tremendous series there. And look, Steph, Golden State.
There's some things that Ant can do that are just flat out explosive. But in an NBA setting this year, the thing that you can do to Ant that you couldn't do last year when they made the Western Conference Finals is you can double team him like crazy. This is something that he has had to mentally get through this year, is how often teams have double teamed him, because the profile of the offense for the Timberwolves is just different this year. They don't have Karl Towns. And for a big part of the year, Dante DiVincenzo was in a slump or injured. They haven't had the relief valves for the double teams. And I think double teaming Ant will be a big part of the Lakers' strategy in this series. I'm not saying you're going to see it in the first possession of the first quarter, but you can do some things to force the ball out of Ant's hands. You look at the Lakers, and it's you double team and you're asking for a big amount of trouble. The amount of talent they have on their perimeter. So the truth is, again, if I was looking at trying to deal with both of them one-on-one, Ant is an absolute beast. But the way the two teams are aligned, Luka is a scarier proposition. He's so tall. He can create so many things for his teammates. They spread the floor really effectively. I think the answer is Luka.
Luka is the scarier. Luka is the scarier matchup, but let's crystallize why that is. Because he just finished destroying them last year. Every time he goes up against Minnesota, he puts it on them. And so, psychologically, if I kick your ass constantly, and then I got to look forward to facing you in the postseason, well, that's a very daunting task that I have no choice but to embrace. I can't run from it because it's an obligation. I'm trying to win a playoff series. That's the problem that the Minnesota Timberwolves have, that Luka keeps giving it to them. But I'm going to tell you this. You better be scared of Anthony Edwards. The Ant-Man is coming. And I'm not talking. I believe that after seeing him in the playoffs last year, the way he went at Phoenix, the way he went at Denver, when he wasn't fatigued, okay? I think this brother is so special. And the fact that you have a whole bunch of people out there, myself included, who believe that the Los Angeles Lakers are going to win this series. The fact that you have Luka and LeBron coming your way, and there's 2 stars, mega stars, playing for the Los Angeles Lakers, okay? This is an opportunity. There has never been a greater opportunity. Not even last year's postseason run wasn't a greater opportunity for Ant-Man to cement his star status than the opportunity that's presenting itself right now with LeBron James and Luka Doncic right across from him. He knows it. His personality tells you he knows it. That brother is coming. I believe in him. I don't believe they'll win this series, but I believe it's going to be a long one because I believe Anthony Edwards is going to go berserk. J.J. Redick and his coaching staff will have something for him in moments because they're just too good not to. But this brother's special, and he's going to show us why.
Yeah, I'm with Stephen A., and I'll take it a step further. I do think he's the scariest matchup because of all the things you just said. I mean, I remember last time I was on the show, Marcus Morris was here, and he used the words Jordan-esque at times for Kyrie, and me and Stephen A. almost, our jaws hit the floor.
Kawhi. Yeah.
About Kawhi Leonard. And Stephen A. and I, our jaws hit the floor. You talk about Jordan-esque, it is this guy. And I can't help but think exactly what Stephen A. just said. These lights, the eyeballs on Ant Edwards right now are by far the biggest they've ever been. I'm thinking Michael Jordan, and this is a more developed probably than Jordan even was in '86. You think about Jordan dropping 63 on the Celtics in '86. He wasn't ready yet to take the big step, but he was ready to show the world he was the best player in basketball. We've seen Ja Morant struggles. Ant Edwards has such an opportunity to be the face of this league. I think he knows that. I think he likes the position he's in, and I think he has nothing to lose. I think he is an absolute danger and a menace in this series.
I think it's fair to point out that the Wolves did win 9 of their last 11 games. They're coming into this on a hot streak, but I think the opportunity is for Luka. I mean, he is going to face a team that he is very, very comfortable in facing. He knows the way they defend him. He knows he's going to get into good spots. He gets to play the first 2 games at home where the Lakers are great. I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm not undercutting what you're saying about Ant's opportunity, but I think if Luka could have picked a team to go against in this first round, he might have picked this team where he can get these switches where he can go up against a Rudy Gobert or other bigs.
You and I both know that Rudy Gobert ain't going to see but so much time in this series. They can't have Rudy Gobert on the floor. I mean, the minute Luka shows up in a cab or an Uber or gets off a flight, Rudy Gobert's in panic mode. You can't have. We will not see Rudy Gobert too much in this series. But let me tell you where it's going to be interesting. We're going to see a lot from J.J. Redick and his coaching staff in this series as well. Because the J.J. Redick that I know, the 27.6 points per game, 4th in the NBA for an Anthony Edwards. This is the J.J. Redick I know. This is the kind of stuff that he's going to pay attention to. 323 pointers made. Led the NBA. This is Ant-Man that we're talking about here. Usage rate, 31%. I'm looking career high, 39.5% from three-point range. 3rd best three-point percentage for a player who averages at least 25 points per game behind KD and Jokic. That's who we're talking about here in Ant-Man. So I'm looking at the usage rate and his willingness to shoot the 3. J.J. Redick is going to look at something like that. He'll have a plan for it. I just think Anthony Edwards is so damn special that somehow, some way, he is going to be determined not to let his star dim in the presence of LeBron and Luka. And that is what I think
the plan is going to be to get the ball out of his hands by swarming him.
Sure.
That's what they're going to do.
Sure. And, they've tried it before, and sometimes it's worked, but this is the postseason. And we remember what we saw from Ant-Man last year. We remember what we saw from him. You understand? And I think we're going to see it on an elevated level this go round.
Playing alongside of him, if you get everybody else to contribute and the bench shows up when they need to show up, there's a possibility it can be done. Now, I think one of the issues that we're going to run into, I'm talking about we. Listen, I'm a Heat fan. I'm just saying we for continuity based on talking about the Lakers and what Luka had to say. If the bench shows up, I think the only issue we will have is the fact that they don't have a big, and depending on who they play, styles and matchups are very important in the 7-game series. Very important.
They don't have a big. Minnesota doesn't have a big that you can Rudy Gobert is not going to hurt you because you don't have to run plays. Now you're going to have to keep him off the glass because he can rebound and give you second chance opportunities.
There it is. That might be a problem because we don't have nobody. Who do we? Why do I keep saying we? God damn it! Who do we have that can
Jackson
do that?
Hayes should be able to keep him.
To prevent them from having second shot chances.
Jackson Hayes.
That's my dude. Hey, you know that's Coach Hayes' son, huh?
What Coach Hayes?
My tight end coach for the Bengals.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
Jonathan
you know
Hayes.
that? Yes, that's his son.
That.
Yeah.
I played in the league. I was with.
Yeah.
He was. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was at Kansas City when I was in the league.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Coach Hayes. Matter of fact, I got the picture with Lil Hayes, right? He was yay high. I'm talking about short.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that, Ocho.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I only knew because the same night when the Lakers played Philly when goddamn Pat Beverly was there. Pat Bev was coming over to talk to me, and Jackson Hayes came up first, and it pissed Pat off, so Pat walked off. And I'm like, wait a minute, boy, what you and I didn't know he was in the NBA. He's like, yeah. I asked him how Pops was doing. Pops was doing good. I was like,
is he still in Cincinnati? He's not coaching in Cincinnati, is he?
No, he's not in Cincinnati. You know, Zach Taylor, that makes a completely different staff. Completely different. Top to bottom.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be a great, I think it's, look, Luka, LeBron, and AR, that should be plenty of offense. Guys just got to play their role. You need
that's it.
Finney Smith, you need Vando. When they come in, they need to do a job. Hey, Ant-Man going to get his points, but you just got to make it difficult. Yeah. You got to make him exert himself as much as you possibly can. Because
on the defensive end.
So that's going to be on Luka. That's going to be on AR. You got to make him work. You got to make him exhaust himself on one end of the court. You can't let it rest. He's not going to play LeBron. LeBron's too big. So somebody's got to guard Luka. And so if I'm looking at the pull back up. Oh, let me see here. Pull this up right quick. So could they possibly put on Luka? Box score. I'm trying to figure who they're gonna put on Luka. Nah, not that. They want that game. Oh, here it is right here. See what they can put on Luka. Jaden McDaniels. Well, he can only guard one. Julius Randle will probably take LeBron. Jaden McDaniels is going to have to guard Luka. Or he's going to have to guard AR. And that means, Ant-Man going to have to guard the other one.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Listen, just sitting here talking about it, man, with you back and forth, man, you got to want to actually be there in person, man. Because I think the chat would enjoy that. The chat would enjoy it. Just you and I at the game. Man, I'm excited. I got chills talking about it, man. I can't wait.
Oh, it's gonna be a great one. It's gonna be a great series. I'm hoping for a great series. Hopefully everybody stays healthy and get the job done. But I don't think you can really. I think this is a great matchup. You got LeBron, Luka, and you got Ant-Man.
Yes, sir.
You can't ask for anything more than that. Then you got a young star. You got LeBron. We know what he is in the playoffs. All the records for the most part. 10 NBA Finals, 4 championships, 4 MVPs, first in point scores, second in assists. Up there in rebounds, up there in block shots, and all that. So this is a great matchup. I can't wait to see it. Probably not going to get kicked off before Sunday of next week. I can see maybe Saturday, but I'm thinking Sunday. Huh? Actually, I don't know. We haven't seen it yet. So, Joe, Jason Kidd says some are comparing the Babe Ruth, Luka with AD. They're comparing that trade to when Babe Ruth, the Red Sox, traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees for $100,000 because the owner wanted to finance a movie. which is kind of cool in regards to the Luka trade.
Right.
I mean, if you're the Yankees, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not if you're the Red Sox, because it was 80 years. You was 80 years and you was cursed. So I don't know the prism or the lens in which Jay Kidd is looking at this through, but he's on the wrong end of this trade currently. So for the Yankees, yes, it's very cool.
Right.
Excuse me. For the Lakers, it's very cool, like it was for the Yankees, because they got Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
The team that traded Babe Ruth, there was an 80-year stretch where it wasn't cool.
It wasn't good. And I think the lens that he's looking at it from, he's looking at it on how great Babe Ruth was, not only when he left the Red Sox, but what he was able to do for the Yankees once he got there. And I think Jason Kidd can also see long-term the visual effects of having Luka and how consistent he's going to be with the Lakers. And it's almost a shot at his own organization, huh?
Yeah.
It's a shot at his own organization, because how could we do this where you're comparing the trade of Luka to the Lakers to that of Babe Ruth leaving the Red Sox to go to the Yankees?
Yeah, because we know what he did for the Yankees. It catapulted them and put them in a stratosphere, and they now, as far in terms of baseball, they're the #1 baseball team. The Yankee pinstripes.
Yep.
Nobody else has a Yankee pinstripe,
Right.
or has a signature or Seville, Savile Row, whatever you want to call it, where they're named after something like, man, them the Yankee pinstripe. Nobody else has that. Babe Ruth trade Boston and New York for cash, universally regarded as one of the worst sports trades in history.
Yeah.
The Yankees became the Yankees. The Red Sox suffered a curse of the Bambino by not winning the World Series for 86 years.
Woo.
I don't know if the Dallas fans are going to be happy if they don't win a championship for 86 years.
Well, it's likely looking to going down that way unless someone magical comes along in free agency, someone magical comes along that's a one and done in college. It ain't looking too pretty.
Well, let's see what happens when Kyrie gets back. Hey, stop. When Kyrie gets back, AD, with the team they have Gafford, they have Lively, they got 3 live active bodies that you can play AD at the 4. Now, when you really need him, you can play him at the 5 late in the ball game, which he likes to be, which he plays his best when he's at the 4, but he can play the 5 last 5 minutes of the ball game.
Right.
So you got 3 active bigs with Gafford, AD, and Lively. Likely. It's likely. Lively. There, yeah, Lively the second. So once you get him, Kyrie, Nick Marshall has played really well. Let's see Clay. Clay has had some really good games. He's been off. Obviously, we know Clay is not what he once was, but he can get hot. He can catch fire.
Yeah, most definitely.
So let's see. Right now is really not the time. I know everybody's looking at the trade in a vacuum because since what Luka is doing for the Lakers, and especially what he did last night. Yeah. But let's give this trade a year or two. Then we can really assess it. Says, okay, because what happens if the Mavericks are in the finals? What happens if they turn this thing around? So, no, I think with Kyrie, Ocho, we know Kyrie is an all-star. Anthony Davis is an all-NBA and an all-star. So 2 of those guys with the team that they got, obviously they could probably make some moves. Now, what's to say they don't make a move and could possibly land KD? Now, are you still upset?
No, I'm not upset.
Kyrie and AD?
But hold on, we keep talking about Kyrie. Listen, I love Kyrie. I love everything that he does, right? Everything that he can do, especially being one of the greatest dribblers of the ball and being able to create his own shot. But he's coming off an ACL tear. How do we know what Kyrie we're getting coming off of that? Can he come back and still have the same lateral movement, the same quickness, still be able to do the same things he did that made him special when he has a ball in his hands? We don't know that yet.
I believe he will, considering the way medicine is and the way these guys come back now.
Right.
It used to be a death sentence when you had an ACL back in the 70s, maybe even the 80s. Right. But now with the way medicine is, Ocho, these guys coming back in 7-8 months. Now basketball players, they normally err on the side of caution.
Yes, sir.
So he probably won't be back until after the new year. So 26 possibly would be the earliest that you're going to see Kyrie. But I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to come back and be the same Kyrie. He's still going to be dynamic. He's still going to be electric. And now you pair him with AD, and who knows what they're going to do. I don't believe they're standing pat. They obviously, look, there's reports out there that they're the Suns are going to have to do something because the way they're constructed, even with KD, even with Book, even with Bradley Beal, they're going to miss the playoffs. They're not even in the play-in. So you can't keep this team the same.
Right.
You're paying $300+ million. You got $300+ million tied up in 3 guys, and you missed the playoff in its entirety.
Yeah.
You got to blow it up. You got to blow it up.
KD is leaving. I know that.
Yeah. KD, Bill. I mean, hey, you got to you got to move on because it's not working. It hasn't worked. And when and a matter of fact, when they made the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken, I think they got swept. So you get swept, you miss the playoffs, it's over.
Yeah,
it's over. So let's see what they do. But yeah, J Kid, I don't know. I mean, you look at this thing. I think you look at it upside down. Had you got Luka, you could say, yeah, we can compare this. But y'all shipped Luka out.
Yeah.
So I guarantee you, the Red Sox weren't. Once Babe Ruth started knocking the ball over the fence and they started winning World Series. Yeah, I don't think they was as happy as they thought they were going to be.
You got to look at it though. For Jason Kidd to say what he's saying as the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, it just tells you how special Luka was. To where you're even using that in comparison to that trade that long ago. Again, it's a low blow and it's a shot at management. How could you do something like this? How could you have a trade of this magnitude? Because he's comparing it to that of Babe Ruth leaving the Red Sox.
Right. And plus the thing is, Luka's 26. He didn't ask to be traded. Babe Ruth didn't ask to be traded. You know, the owner wanted to finance a play and he needed money. And, hey, it happened. And they traded, if I'm probably mistaken, them because they're in the same division now. I don't know if they were back then. But you traded him to a division rival. So it's crazy that it happened. But hey, I don't know if crazier things have happened, but we'll see.
Right.
But I think you're going to have to give this deal. I can't look at it this year. Kyrie got hurt. AD was hurt for a large stretch. I think he missed 20+ games after he got.
Hello.